This weekend, the John Wick universe expands with a brand new spin-off. But is Ballerina a killer hit or a missed shot? I'll let you know. Hi, my name is Bob, and today on Was It Good, we're going to be talking about the new film from the world of John Wick, Ballerina, which stars Ana de Armas in the lead role as assassin Eve Macaro. Now, before I get into this review, I do want to let you know that it is going to be spoiler-free, but if you've seen the movie already, why don't you go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you thought about it and what you think about the John Wick franchise as a whole. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and support the channel by hitting subscribe. Let's get to it. Set between the events of John Wick Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, Ballerina follows Eve, a deadly assassin trained in the infamous Ruska Roma Ballet Academy. Driven by the need for revenge after the murder of her father, she embarks on a brutal mission through the criminal underworld. As she uncovers dark secrets and faces relentless enemies, her journey forces her to confront the cost of vengeance and her place in the violent world of assassins. Now, I've really enjoyed this franchise since the first film, and I knew we were in for a treat when I heard Vigo describe John Wick to his son.
We called him Baba Yaga.
What followed was a great revenge story with intense action and several great sequels. Now, when I saw that a spin-off was coming out starring Ana de Armas in the lead role, who's quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses, I knew I needed to see this. Plus, there was the promise of a showdown between her and John Wick.
I'm not leaving.
Your choice.
So now that we've jumped back into the world of John Wick, did Ballerina live up to my expectations? First off, we're going to talk about the action. There is a lot of it, and it is really cool. I think they do a good job with this character and taking her physical limitations into account, and they actually are able to mold a style for her. I think that works very well for this character. There's the gun fu that you would see from the other John Wick films, the hand-to-hand fighting, the use of a lot of different weapons. And there is one particular scene towards the end of the film that makes use of a flamethrower. I think that just looks really cool. So the action is what I would expect from a John Wick film, and I was very pleased with it. Next, I want to talk about Ana de Armas as the lead. I did point out earlier that she is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses, and I think she nailed it in this film. She hit all the right notes, both emotionally and physically. I think she brings a vulnerability to this role that is different than what you see with John Wick, and that brought something a little bit fresh to the lead character in this franchise. I really enjoyed what they did with her. I liked the backstory that they gave her, and overall, I would see more spin-offs with her because I really enjoyed this character. Great performance by Ana de Armas. Also, I want to touch on the visuals because John Wick fans expect a certain flair with the visuals, and I think that this movie delivers for the most part as far as when it comes to lighting and certain color grading and neon contrast, specifically with this one particular scene that takes place in a club. And then there's this scene towards the end where I think that the colors and the lighting really match what came before. So I do think that there's some consistency with this film and the rest of the franchise. I also like how this film added some things to the world of John Wick. We got to see a little bit of the Ruska Roma and what went on at that ballet academy and how these assassins are trained. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. Also, as far as the story goes, I like that they brought it home to being just a good old-fashioned revenge story. Just like John Wick was seeking revenge in the first film, this character of Eve Macaro is seeking revenge for the death of her father. And so bringing it back to a good old-fashioned revenge story was a real plus for me. Finally, I want to talk about the return of Keanu Reeves as John Wick.
You're him. The one they call the Baba Yaga.
Now, he doesn't get a lot of screen time, but I do think it was fun seeing him in the film. Now, I don't think he was necessarily needed in the film because I do think the character of Eve Macaro really stood on her own, but I did enjoy seeing him. And knowing that there was going to be a fight between the two, I was actually afraid that they were going to neuter John Wick to build up the new protagonist, but I gotta say, they don't neuter him at all. He's still the John Wick that we know and love, so I really liked what they did with his character in the film. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to mention here. The first is that in the story, they try to establish some connections with the main character and a few of the others throughout the film. And I don't think those connections really come through the way they intend. I just didn't find myself wowed by certain revelations. Also, The villains of the film and their connection with the Ruska Roma, that's not really gone into any detail. And I think that the film needed to do so for me to really feel more from that particular storyline. But other than those two things, there's not really anything bad I can say about this movie. Real quick, before I get into my final thoughts, I want to go ahead and remind you to go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel. Maybe I've reviewed something that you're interested in, or something that you've seen already and you'd like to let me know what you thought about it. Also, for those that are interested, I do have another YouTube channel with a couple of my friends where we put on a show called Dad's Turn to Talk. This is an opportunity for three dads to get together and talk about the things that we want to talk about, including movies, sports, pop culture, and have a little bit of fun at each other's expense. The link to that channel will be in the description below. Final verdict. Was it good? I had a blast with this one and I found it to be very entertaining. I would rate this a solid 8 out of 10. It had some great action, a great performance by Ana de Armas in the lead role. I enjoyed the solid revenge story, and it added to the John Wick franchise. If you're a fan of these films or you like the action genre in general, I say go ahead and get to the theater and check it out because I do think you'll enjoy it. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.